All right, so marketing your organization. So this is something that every org has to think about at some point or another, whether it's around a developer fest or for an event. And basically, you just want to show people how awesome you are. So there are a couple basic ways that we can do this on campus.
One of the things you can do is you can do print marketing. So it's pretty much anything that's on paper. It can be posters, flyers, quarter cards, anything like that. And you have to make sure that all the information that you have on those posters is visible and really legible, and all of the information is on each of the flyers.
Yeah, there are a lot of flyers that go out, so you definitely want to make sure that the ones that you post have really big lettering on them. Make sure the things that are important about those, like if you're giving away free food or something, is the thing that's featured, because that's what's going to get people out. Digital is also something that is constantly increasing as far as importance in marketing. So these are things like social media, MyOBC, things like that, which we'll get more into later.
And there's a lot of marketing that you can do which is out of the box. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, but it can be things like buttons, it can be like going out and talking to other organizations, so it can be things that aren't just kind of digital.
Alright, so the first step is developing a brand for your org. What do you want the school to see your organization as? How do you want to be remembered? How can you get to the point where people see one of your flyers and go, oh, I know who they are?
So one of the most important things to do when you're branding yourself is being consistent. You want to make sure that you either have like one similar typeface, a color that is like associated to your org, or a visual style. So let me just give an example. Like SGA always uses black and gold, so that's something that is, they're known and it's really obvious when you see their flyers or anything like that.
So logo. So some organizations already have logos, some don't. It's really something that if you can get access to one is a really cool thing to have, just to put on everything that you have. So Common Vision can work with you as far as logo design, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But as soon as you get a logo, make sure it's on every piece of print material that you have. You really only have like 4 years to catch people's eye here, and then you have to start all over. So you want to make sure that people are coming in and recognizing, hey, the speech bubble means SCP, or hey, the Student Life logo is on all their t-shirts.
Alright, so going along with that, you want to make sure that all of the marketing that you do is really visible, and you want to make sure that, like Joe was saying, all the branding is the same. So if you're making t-shirts, make sure that the logo is the same on all of them. If you're making flyers for an event, make sure that your logo is on all of them. And you want to make sure that you really advertise heavily.
Alright, so social media. So this is huge. It's probably one of the ways that people, that orgs get the most exposure, just because it's like really accessible.
And you want to make sure that when you're on social media, you're posting regularly and you update it all the time, even if it's, you're talking about like prep for an event that you're getting ready to do. Take pictures, make sure that your group members have specific things that they're doing. An example is SEB. We have committee chairs, so we have somebody who will like focus on Facebook or on Twitter or Tumblr, and they'll work specifically with that social media. And in social media, there's specific times that are the best to post about your events. So
Yeah, what do people think would be kind of the best times to post on social media?
Day before?
Day before?
Or a week before.
Okay. So yep, definitely good to get it out early and then remind people as it comes up. But as far as like times of the day, what do people, or times of the week, what do people think? Noon?
I was thinking, me? 8 and 12 p.m. I was gonna say Sunday nights.
Okay.
I was gonna say nighttime also when people are trying to relax and you use the computer.
Alright. So we went ahead and looked these up. So best times to post, and these are really true because if we think about when we use Facebook, like it's probably during these hours right here. A lot of us are college students though, so let's be honest, 4 p.m. goes way past that, but 4 a.m. maybe. But if you guys wanted to write these down. This is something that we actually researched last year because we are by no means perfect when it comes to marketing, so we saw our social media as a way to improve. And that's when we put in that committee chair program, like Heather was talking about, where you really just assign one member to each of the platforms. It keeps it really manageable. You can give them this information and say like, hey, here are the best times to post, here are events coming up, here are initiatives we want to work on. And it's a really great way to kind of get the word out there and build that reach. So sharing your events. So every event we do, we try to have a Facebook event for it. Especially for like iPhones and stuff, it syncs to people's calendars if they're attending an event, which is really cool. And I think other friends do that as well. At the same time, if you're having a lot of events, you probably don't want to invite all of your friends to every event you do. And Facebook makes it really easy to make an invite list. So you can specifically set up a list of like friends at UMBC or friends at UMBC that I know are probably going to attend our events and just send it out to those. There are even some links that let you invite all the people in that list with just one click. I don't have that link up here because it's really long, but if you Google it, like Facebook invite link, it's really useful. And keep sharing things during the event. So this is things like photos of you setting up, or pictures of people at your event, or hey, this is going on right now, make sure you come over to the breezeway, because you never know who you're going to grab at the last minute.
And also, with social media, you want to make sure that you have a lot of incentives. So you can either run contests to get more people interested in your page. You can have a lot of photos, like you were talking about at your events. And just talking to people, bringing people in, trying to get them interested in your organization and what your org is doing. Even if you're doing something like in the breezeway, just going up and talking to people and telling them that there's something over in the breezeway can go a long way.
Yeah, and talking to people is really important on your page as well. Like if people are asking you questions, you want to make sure that you're responding to them in a timely manner, because that's kind of the online version of yourself. So if they see yourself, like for example, I went to the Kesha concert last night, so I'm kind of glittery, I apologize. But I went home and checked Hopkins, who was running the event's SGA page, and they were saying, they were kind of bad-mouthing the concert, which was weird because they were the ones hosting it. It's important when talking to people to remember that like, that's now how I know Hopkins SGA, as the people who are kind of tearing apart their own event. And that's a weird online presence to have for yourself if you're trying to promote something. So just keeping that in mind.
You also want to remember that the kind of communication that you have will stay up on your page. So you want to remember to be like really polite to the people that are talking to you, and don't say something that somebody, 5 months from now might go back to your page, look at, read it, and say they weren't very nice, I'm not going to go to other things. So try to remain cordial.